Hello, everybody. My name is Chachi. Welcome back in our humble opinion. Let me make sure the camera's good. Yep, it's good to go. Alrighty. Sorry, just getting everything set. Welcome back. Today we're gonna look at because the Thursday night game is already played Saturday. If you don't know, believe it's the 7th today. So we're just gonna go over, of course, the Ravens and the Packers, which if you know they played the Thursday night game against the Lions. Very good game. 34-31. Lions won at home. And we'll go over all that. I just want to go over a quick synopsis of the last week, which is week 13, and that game in general. So it's gonna be quick. No Tom this week. You know, he's off with the kids in Cali, so we're having a good time. Anyway, let's get started. Just want to go over the Ravens game. We'll get that out the way first, since that was quick, quick L they took pretty quickly. It's only week 13 games. What's going on? There we go. There's the rest of them. Okay. And we're going to go over everything. Don't get me wrong. There we go. Eagles, Ravens. So, if anyone didn't watch that game, the Ravens got off to a hot start of 9-0. Justin Tucker, though, could not make kicks. He's still struggling. I do think they should keep with him, though. I have faith. I think he's going to come around. Now, the thing with the Ravens, defense is starting to play better. But now the offense is starting to stammer a little bit. They're making mistakes. You can't make mistakes. You saw it in the Steelers game. 3 turnovers. They didn't turn it over at all. They beat you. Same thing in this game. You just let them kind of stay around, miss the kicks. And ultimately, I know that people want to get on the offense, but ultimately, I think the missed kicks killed them because it would have gave you the lead in this game and put Philadelphia in a bind where they were behind a little bit, which they weren't in the whole game. After they got the lead back, which credit to them, they're a very good team. Their defense is very quick, good at covering, good tackling team. Middle linebacker is Braun is a legend. I believe that's how you say his name. Guy really plays well. Like him. D line's a menace. Lamar tried. He made plays. Aguilar dropped a couple, but Nelson makes plays and misses them. He's still a very good player. Deontay Johnson thing, that is wild. I don't even know where to begin with that. That is, I think both sides were right and both sides were wrong. I think like the Ravens should use him more, but I also think Deontay, you have to go in there and play, dude. I don't know what's going on there, but and as for the Eagles, hey, they look really good. Jalen Hurts, he gets a lot of crap, but he is a very solid player. He makes plays. The tush push is pretty hard to stop. Their O line's really good. And Saquon's kicking butt. He's definitely, if he's not the front runner for MVP, which I love because he's a running back, he's really stepped up and played really well for them. They needed a guy like him, and at the end of the game, I knew that was going to happen. You missed the field goals, you missed your opportunities, and the Ravens have that problem. They consistently do this against good teams. And teams in general, that's the thing. It's funny. It's not just good teams. It's teams in general. And you let them stay around and stay around, and they end up beating you at the end. Or maybe you win. But either way, you let them stay around. Like self-inflicted mistakes, the fumble on the read option they had. It's just you can't be doing that. Sorry, it's my. You can't be doing that in games against good teams. You have to have flow because they had it. They missed Likely up the seam. It was an out route, but Lamar thought he was going to cut it up because no one was there, and it was a miscommunication. You can't have that, guys. You got to figure it out. Still love Likely though. Love Lamar too, but this is the thing with Ravens. I still have faith. They're either they can lose to anybody and they can beat anybody. That's the thing. They've lost their 5 losses are by combined 22 points, which tells me they can beat anyone, but they can also lose anyone. And the other side of the team that's helping like me think they have a shot is the defense is getting better, which is very good. They're starting to kind of gel there, which is nice. But they really good time for a bye week. They really need to get everything tightened up, start playing a little more consistently. But overall, we'll see how it goes. I think they have a shot this year. Let me see how these last 5 games go. I'll really give you a good read on them. But they have the ability to beat anyone. Their A game is impressive, but they also have the ability to just every game's going to be close, and if they make the mistakes they frequently make at the end of games, they're going to lose them. But encouraging defense, as I said, wrap it all up in a bow real quick. Encouraging was the defense. Special teams is a mess right now. Justin Tucker, I don't know what's going on, but like I said, I have faith. I think he's going to get it straightened out. I think he's going to be a monster at the end of the year. I really do. I have faith in him. But to be fair, you played the Eagles. The 2 teams you lost to recently, the Eagles and Steelers, are really good. Can't hate on them. Really good defenses. It happens. The defense stepped up the way you wanted. You just in these close games can't make mistakes because in games against teams like that, it's going to be close and you got to beat them. You can't like sit there and keep giving them opportunity up. Because eventually they're going to beat you. But we'll see how it goes for the Ravens. Who knows? Besides that, they just have to they're relatively healthy, so they just have to get their stuff together. Then we're gonna go to the Pack. Where's the Pack? This is the previous week's game, I believe. There they are. Packers played the Dolphins. They looked really good in this game. They ran all over them. Defense is coming around. The Dolphins, they were kind of hot, and they really stymied that. I thought Tua played well, had a lot of yards, I believe. Let me click on it. This game I watched over, but I did not like. He had a lot of yards, but it was kind of like playing from behind most of the game, which was really wild that they got such a lead. But the running game was very impressive for the Packers in this game. It was really kicked butt. I mean, not running game, my bad. Oh my god, I'm thinking of a different game. They just beat them. They made a lot. They made some plays. The Packers looked good, man. Defense played okay. Tua threw for a lot of yards though. Wow, I remember that. But Packers, man, they just played their game. They won. Kind of an easy game to talk about. Tom could probably give you more insight on it. But I thought Packers did their thing, won the game like they should. Miami just, anytime it's cold out, doesn't seem to really show up very well. Tough game for them. Kind of like business as usual for the Pack. They were 9-3. They went into that game that we'll go into right here. We're gonna get into that one. In fact, we'll do that and then get into all the other stuff that happened around the league last week, because this game for me was just like, I thought the Packers were going to win. I thought they just were the better team. I mean, there's nothing to really talk about. Miami kind of is who they are. I mean, I'm glad Tua is doing better. I really am. That's actually really good. And I'm glad no injury risk right now. He's doing a really good job of keeping himself healthy. And that's really it. Not much to say about that game. It was pretty, I'm not going to say uneventful. I just think it was inevitable they were going to win that game. It looked like for me. Now we'll go right into the game last night, which was, why is it not at the top? That's kind of wild. Anyway, there it is. Lions, as I said, won 34-31. I watched this game because it was very compelling. I thought, so let me get into it. There was a PI call on Christian Watson for picking a guy, and I think it was a fair call, very good call. I didn't have a problem with that. My problem is Detroit, so we're going to fast forward to the end of the game. Just bring this up now so I can talk about the rest of the game. I think the Lions have done a great job, by the way, of filling in on defense with all the injuries they've had, and they've all stepped up. So Darius Smith had a good game. Lil Hansy would have in the face, but I always like him because he was ex-Raven. But they really filled in. Anzalone was hurt. They had a couple other guys in the secondary injured. Branch is very good. The team just fills in and plays hard on defense. They were really good in the first half, but the second half it was Dan Campbell's fault. And this is my issue with them. Me and Tom have talked about this before. This extra aggressive, ultra aggressive style is great and all. I love it, and I love Dan Campbell. I like their coordinators too, Aaron Glenn and Johnson. They're gonna get jobs. They're too good. But my problem is, that's going to cost you in a game against it. You can't, like in this game, you had them, you decide to go for it from 30, get stopped, and now they get an easy score. You can't give up right after you throw a pick, which is you got to think about these situations. You're compounding a bad thing that happened instead of just, hey, we're going to give you a full field. No, we're going to put a short field again and get them right back in the game. It was very weird. I just don't understand it sometimes. I get going for it sometimes, but all the time is just risky for your team in general and sets you up for failure. I get they're winning. They won a 5-pick game, but reminds me of the Chiefs when they lost to Tom Brady when he played for the Buccaneers. All I heard is, oh, well, they keep doing it, and then they got in and I get it, the linemen were bad, but I go back to this because they finally got in a game where the way they played, that comeback crap, in this instance, their ultra aggressiveness, what you were finally caught up to you. Like, you can't do that all the time. So I'm a little scared for that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Late in the game, this is the key play before the 4th and 1 where they got the first and ended it. The reason they were at a 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1 is because on 2nd down, they threw the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, I don't have a problem if you push up. You get inside and you do the little push on the in route where you get your arm inside. You can't really see it. It's one. He took 2 hands and open hand shoved the guy. The referee, you got to be better than that. That's PI. The only reason he was open is because he shoved the dude with 2 hands. You guys were just like, it's fine. That was easily over 5 yards. If you're going to call it on the DB, call it on the damn receiver. And if you're going to call the Christian Watson one, it's the same. It's PI. It's okay. You can call it on an offensive player. They'll live, okay? Stop putting these DBs in a bad spot. Wasn't fair. They should have got a chance. Maybe Detroit even gets the first down. Who knows? They're very good team. They probably will because that offense was rolling that night. They were doing great. I didn't even think Green Bay's defense was bad. I just think it's a tough offense to stop. Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Williams, the two running backs, Montgomery and Gibb. I mean, it's a good team. That line is stacked. I mean, how many times does Jared Goff just sit? And I love Jared Goff, but if you do get pressure on him, he's a different player. He's very good in structure. He's got a hell of an arm. He does. Great player. I really like him. Detroit, I think, is the class of the NFC right now, but like the Ravens and Steelers, this is a rivalry game. If it happens again in the playoffs, Green Bay definitely can beat them. I think Green Bay's a good team. I think them and the Eagles have a shot to beat them. In fact, I think the Packers match up pretty well against the Eagles. Either way, just in general, I think they could meet again. It needs to be really good. I thought it was a great game to watch. I think Green Bay's running game, Josh Jacobs is, like I said, a monster. I like him. Jordan Love making big throws. Really looks like he's healthy now. Detroit, though, overall, just a solid team. Even with the injuries, just keep rolling. Love Dan Campbell, but love the aggressiveness, too, on that fourth one. Love it. Love that he went for it, so I'm win this game. Kicker's money. That's always important. That's why the Packers, glad they fixed theirs with McManus. That was a good... He looks like he's solidified that for him. Problem with the Ravens is their kicker, by the way. I mentioned that. I did. But overall, both these teams are going to be there in the end of the NFC, I think so. Because the NFC is not as... They only have right now, I would say, those three teams. And the rest of them are kind of a coin flip, what you're going to get each week. Anyway, that's it for that game. We're going to go back to the previous week. And we're going to go over some of the stuff we saw. Well, I guess it wouldn't be the previous week. It would be the week that just happened. It's just we are going back. We just went to that game. Oh, no, that is not what I wanted. No. There we go. All right, cool. Week 13, which we're covering here. Oh, my gosh, what the heck just happened? Whoa. All right, cool. There we go. All right, so overall, I don't know if you guys saw the Bears and Lions game. We didn't get to talk about that yet. That was a mess. So I, originally watching this live, did not notice the one timeout, which is even more egregious. Caleb Williams, why are you autoing? Now, he's a rookie. That's fine. It's mainly on the coach. And Eberflus getting fired makes sense. The Bears, though, do keep making the same mistake with that rookie quarterback. Fire the first coach, get a new one. It's a mess. But if anyone was going to fire, it'd be him. Because once I hit 18 seconds, you should have called a timeout. That was crazy, bro. That was crazy. Caleb Williams, though, you cannot take that sack there. But, he's a rookie. I'll give him a break. I'll give him a break on that. We went over the Packer game, but then you got the Raiders and Chiefs. That was another one. People were saying it was a false start or whatever, and it should have been a it should have been a procedure penalty, which would have just gave them would have been a dead ball penalty. But I'm like, I think it's fine. You just can't. With Kansas City, I already said it. You can't make the mistakes. They're not going to make them, so you can't. When you have them down, you got to win the game. They're not going to make the mistakes to lose it. You're going to have to beat them. And another team couldn't beat them. Made the mistake. They fumbled. That's it. Messed up the snap. That's your fault. The fans weren't even loud. I don't know what happened there. They were ready to take that L. Steelers look really good on offense. The Bengals defense might actually be that bad. And I think the Bengals are officially done. Or really close. Maybe they can sneak in a wild card, but I doubt it. The wild cards are pretty good in the AFC. I don't know. Joe Burrow, I think, is playing well. Jamar Chase is. Better pay that man because you're not winning enough to keep him. So, I mean, it's a mess. I don't know, man. I feel bad for them. As for the Steelers, their defense, I mean, they even scored on their defense a lot. Their defense, even when they have an off day, makes turnovers. They're just, like the Ravens got to look at that and understand they're a team that goes for turnovers. You got to be careful against them. That was your problem. You didn't do it. And same thing in this game. They lost because they turned the ball over, and the Steelers didn't. And Russell Wilson looks really good. He's making the plays when he needs to. So Steelers look tough, man. I'm not gonna lie. Might be their division. Texans Jaguars. I knew the Texans would win, but the play everyone's talking about, where Alshire hits him, Lawrence when he slides. I actually don't think that was. I think it was. I think it was a dirty play. Don't get me wrong. I think he should have been able to stop. But 3 games for a suspension for that's crazy. Maybe 1, 3. Nah, I mean it ain't that bad. God, I mean I've seen worse. I've seen worse. I'm like 3 is a lot for one of their better defensive players too. So that's wild. But hey, I don't know. Texans kind of just been mid this year. I know they're 8-5, but they're like 8-5 and have some bad losses. I don't know how you lose a game when you have 5 picks. Anyway, whatever. Still, their defense looks actually better than their offense this year. C.J. Stroud not playing as well. They did get Nico Collins back, so maybe that's going to change once they get their little rapport going again. Let's go into the Vikings. You know, they're just rolling. The Cardinals, kind of a tough team, but they have their moments where they don't show up. The Vikings, though, while they are 10-2, to me they're a flawed team because Sam Darnold's still Sam Darnold. I think he's good, but he's not. I just know it's in there. He's going to make the mistakes, and it's okay. I think they're a nice story. I mean, the Steelers from a while back when they had a really good record, and just you knew they weren't going to do much in the playoffs. I don't see it, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll win. The Colts, let's give a shout out to Anthony Richardson. Played really well in this game. The guy's really bouncing back. They still have a shot, and I like their makeup of their team. If the kid plays consistently, and he's young, it's not his fault. He's going to be a monster, man. I think he has a lot of potential. So we'll see where it goes. The Jets, they're an absolute mess. They were up in this game 21-7, and then Aaron Rodgers missed a touchdown pass, wide open Garrett Wilson, and then throws a pick six to a D tackle who used to play for the team, Leonard Williams, very good player. They're a mess, and Aaron's just not the same player. He's not. He's old. Devontae Adams, I don't get what they were doing now because now you just have an old team and you can't keep. Aaron's probably going to leave, and you have all this cap problems. You can't pay all these young guys, and you have a lot of old guys. It's a mess. And I know Devontae said I wouldn't change it, but I bet maybe Oakland. I'm sorry. Maybe Las Vegas is that bad. I don't know, but that's kind of crazy. The Jets are a mess. Seahawks, hey, they're doing really well. Mike McDonald's been a really good coach. I love them here. Defense is really tough. Geno Smith really making a good career for himself. I don't think they're a true contender to win anything, like a championship or anything, but I do think they could be a tough little team. In the NFC, though, I don't think they're messing with the big boys. But, hey, fun story. Commanders keep rolling. That's the one. That's the team that I think can kind of muck up that little, like, three-team party there. Eagles are a divisional opponent. They're going to play them tough. And same thing, I think they could give the Lions a run. Green Bay probably matches up a little better against them, but just because they're not a divisional opponent, they don't really know them that well. But, hey, Commanders rolling. Jaden Daniels' defense is really starting to play hard. Bobby Wagner, all those guys gelling together. Hey, look out. As for the Panthers, I just want to get into this because the Bucs won the game, but God, man, Bryce Young, I'm so happy for that guy. He is really looking like the number one pick. Dave Canales might be the coach you need there because he is. I know he benched him, but maybe it was the right thing. The guy is really rolling now, making amazing throws, and they're fun to watch. They are tough. You do not want to play them. That team is rolling. They got confidence. Clowney's still there, and he really wants to play for. I mean, hey, shout out. They're doing good. They're doing a really good job. And if I'm a Panthers fan, I'm pumped. They're playing a lot harder and better than they were before. I love it. I think they have a good future. Then let's get into the 49ers at the Bills. That was a fun game. The play with Amari Cooper and Josh Allen was impressive. Snow game's always fun. It was really impressive. I think the Bills are a really good team. DeMar Hamlin, I know shout him out. He plays really hard. I think he's a very solid safety. Great, really good tackler. Always in the right spot. Very solid player. I mean, I understand why they did that. He is better than a good starter. I think he is a solid player, like a really good, like a Ryan Clark type player, like really good. Like he don't get enough credit. Talking about Ryan Clark, he's a really good player. This guy's a really good player. He is solid, fundamentally sound. Not gonna nail everyone like Ryan Clark. Different play styles, but same kind of like they're just really solid. Like that is a starter, high quality starter in the NFL. He's really good. I don't know about all pro or anything, but he is a really good player. Always comes up on tape because he's always making the tackle to stop a big gain. He's number 3, baby. Doing his job. Doing really well. As for the Browns at the Broncos, this was the Monday Nighter. That was a wild one. Broncos, look out for them. They're really rolling. defense is usually really good. I don't know. Jameis is wild, man. You can see why he was the number one pick, but you can also see why he has not worked out. It's like both. He is fun. This shows you Cleveland, if you get a quarterback or start Jameis or whatever you're going to do and somehow get out of this Watson deal, maybe trade him, I doubt it, but or just bench him and eat the money. God, a good core there. Jerry Jeudy, what a good trade that was. Guy looks finally getting his shot and making plays. I'm glad he's playing better. But Broncos, Bo Nix is really hitting his stride. I think Sean Payton's got his guy. He's got a team. I think it worked out for everybody. Russell Wilson with the Steelers. He's striving, thriving. Same thing with this kid. Broncos are tough, man. And they didn't have PS2 once he's back. Patrick Surtain Jr. They're gonna be tough, man. I mean, Ravens beat them, but they're not the same team, so they're gonna be really tough. Bo Nix is clicking. I don't think he's missing them throws next time they play. So it's gonna be AFC's gonna be wild in the playoffs. It's gonna be pretty cool. The Chiefs, I didn't talk about the fact that they're just not the same team, but like I said, they make you beat them. So I just wanted to bring that up. Broncos played them tough, so that would be a weird playoff matchup. I think it'd be tough, but I like what I see from the Broncos and the Browns. No one wants to play you guys either. I think that's about it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Likes as always are appreciated, and as always, roll tide. See you next week.